Howdy and welcome to the cave. It's great to have you back. I'm Mark, and you're watching Blue Street Customs. Hey guys, how's it going? First off, hope you had a Merry Christmas. Maybe Santa brought you the stuff you were hoping for. Maybe not. Either way, as long as you were with family. Second of all, I know this is already gone by, but hope you all have a great new year for 2020. I know mine's off to a good start already. Anyways, I'm going to start a new project here, and it's going to be all kinds of firsts. It's just a mini diorama. I'm going to see if I can do it in one video. Probably not, so it might be some sort of little mini series. It's not going to be as long or as extensive as, my wooden model ship or my water wheel sawmill. But what I'm looking at is building a small little waterfall on some cliffs. And like I said, this is all going to be first for me. I got a new toy. I got myself a hot wire cutter, the knife style, different rods, things like that. I'll show that to you later. But I was playing with it, and first of all, just some of this extruded polystyrene, this pink foam. So I cut out a hole, right? That would be kind of like the lake part. Then I took a couple other small pieces, cut out like where the waterfall is going to be, and kind of a small river on the top. So, first of all, I've never done gluing of the styrofoam like this. But I'm going to use this Gorilla Glue, polyurethane glue, and it does expand when you glue stuff. So, when you glue these things together, you will have to weight them down, okay? Which isn't a big thing. Bunch of the other stuff I will go over real quick here. The first I'm going to be using, I've never done anything with resin. So of course, with this, I'm going to be making resin lake and river on the top. I'm going to be using a couple different products, probably some sort of clear silicone to make the waterfall effect. So that'll be a first. The ripples and everything on the bottom, we'll be using Mod Podge gloss to make the ripple effects, because I don't have some of that fancy stuff that the other guys use. I am going to be applying some of these techniques from different creators, and I'll mention their names and give them a shout out, because it is where I learned it from. I don't know where they learned it from. Maybe it's their own idea, I don't know. But I will give them a shout out as I use it. I'll be using things like cotton and, see if I can get some snow flocking to make, splash waves and things like that. So that'll all be a first for me. I'm also going to be making my own fake rock for the face of the cliff and stuff like that. Again, it's a technique I've seen another creator use, so I'm going to try that. And it's just using a type of plaster of Paris. It's not actually plaster of Paris, but it's a type of it. I'll probably be even making my own version of Sculpt-A-Mold, right? And again, it's another type of filler. They're using the plaster and other various fillers to make it thick and clumpy, so that you can mold and sculpt things. So there's going to be a lot of firsts in this one. So hopefully you'll like it. Hopefully you stay tuned. Hopefully I can make this a very short mini series, and hope you all stay along. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to make sure you can see this and the other videos that I'm still doing. And let's get to it. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to glue these things together. like so. Okay. Now with this glue does expand, so you have to weight this stuff down once you put it on. Now, something else I didn't mention is I went and picked up, because I'm doing resin for the first time, I went and picked up some of these inks. They're just from Amazon. They're just cheap ink. I said I didn't want anything expensive because this is all trial for me. So I got 15 different colors. So you'll be seeing me using some of these anyways. And yeah, that'll be a first. More contact cement for a different project. Some spray super glue, spray adhesive, or super glue with spray activator. So, okay. So, first of all, you're going to need a stick, because this stuff, read the instructions on it, and you should do that. You got to spread it thin, and then weight it down, because this stuff will expand, you know, and you don't need it causing problems. Now, according to the instructions, you got about 10-15 minutes work time. So, in that amount of time, you should be able to do this. And I also went ahead with some sandpaper and sanded, the surface. Anywhere I'm applying the glue, I'll come back in and straighten up a bunch of this and my rock face, things like that. And get that all nicely done up. Now that hot wire cutter works pretty darn slick. But when you do use them, make sure you have a freaking window open. Good God, they make some stink when they're melting through this stuff. And a different project at some point in time, or maybe I'll just make another video if you guys want to see a video of how to use these the hot wire cutters. Let me know. I'll make a quick little video on how to actually use them. Not that I know a lot either, but how I figured out and how I use them may not be the exact right way, but hey, it's how we learn. Just do it. Yeah, now that I've got them glued down, so what I'm going to do is, come on, get on there. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some heavy weight on here. Use whatever you got. I'm going to use a couple of these cans, and we'll go from there. Okay, so continuing on the firsts. Like I said, I'm going to make my own rock faces. The way I'm going to do that is with some aluminum foil. So with the aluminum foil, doesn't matter which side, shiny side, dull side. So we're going to crumple all this up. And you don't want to crumple it up too tight. You just want, a loose ball kind of thing. Then you're going to carefully reopen it, hopefully without tearing it. Now, as you can see, it makes quite the, scrumpled pattern. Okay. So from here, what you're going to do, you're going to make a bit of a dam, because what we're going to be doing is mixing up some plaster, alright, and then we're going to pour it in here. So of course you don't want the plaster going everywhere. Now this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I'm not quite sure exactly how this is going to turn out, but from what I've seen, it seems to work pretty good. And it doesn't have to be perfect. But from here, what you're going to do is kind of make sure that your sides are up high enough. Now you don't want to flatten it out too much. You want to try not to press on here, because you want that impression for the rock. So from here, see, I'm going to put this on an old baking sheet that I've got, just so I can move it around after without, spilling it, whatever, right? So, put this aside for a minute. So you get yourself a container and a stick. Make sure your container's clean. Now this is just art plaster. I bought this whole big bag off of Amazon for like, I think it was like $13, give or take. Don't quote me on that, but I got it from Amazon. The way you mix this stuff is I'm just going to add probably 2 good tablespoons of this. Maybe 3. Hopefully I don't make too much, but if I do, it's fairly cheap. Make sure you get yourself a helper. All right, Webster? Now I'm just going to make this. Now you don't want it too dry or make too much of a mess. I'm just going to mix this stuff until I may put too much water in here. So you want to mix it up so that you get it all, there's no lumps. I don't think I have enough in here anyways for what I'm doing. What do you think, Webster? Is that enough? Most likely not. Most likely not. So we're going to add some more in there. One, I think I have it too runny. Yeah. You will get messy. Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay. Now don't worry if you get this stuff in your clothes. You want to try not to, but it will come out in the wash. And you've got a little bit of working time with this. And make sure that your helper actually is helping, not hindering. Right, Webster? Now you want this a little runny because you want it to flow down into all the little nooks and crannies of the tinfoil. Does it look good to eat? Probably not. Just a touch more water. Make sure it's all well mixed. Get the stuff in the sides and corners. So I've never used this stuff before to make this, so I'm not exactly sure how it'll turn out. But it's very similar to plaster of Paris, if not exactly the same stuff. Okay, once you got it all decently mixed and some of your mess cleaned up, hey you, come on now. I'm going to grab my tray. I'm going to grab my tin foil. And make sure it's sitting down flat. A little bit more water because I think it's already starting to thicken. So you got some time, but you got to be somewhat quick too. Maybe I should have put this tray down in the first place. Contain any mess that comes along. No, I don't think this is going to work. I can't get it to thin back out. I think it's hardening no matter what I do to it. So, we're going to attempt this again. I'm going to get rid of this and be a little quicker. So obviously with this stuff, you have very little time. Yeah, attempt number 2. So obviously we've learned that you have very little working time. Once this stuff starts to harden, that's it. So now that I've got it seemingly mixed up, I think some sort of bowl instead of an old margarine dish would probably work better. And if you used maybe a whisk instead. So I'm just going to pour this in here. Well, obviously I didn't make enough. And this stuff here you can just wash out while it's still wet. So give me a minute, I'll be right back. Well, as you can see, these are my first attempts at trying to do this stuff. We do make mistakes, trial and error, learn from. So hopefully, in the next episode, you'll see me do a little better. Hopefully not make any mistakes. So I want you to stick around and wait for the next video, which should be fairly shortly. Until then, later.